Bogard scot-free in every sense of the word. I keep my hands clean, sanitized. I've been analyzed the streets, found a way. Now I try to find his feet. Moutier, the lifestyle blinding me. Gotta be an angle here. It's all geometry. It was all a dream. Like the late great notorious, the road less traveled, the road less glorious.
The abyss of these bubblegate bitches. Still I rise in the midst of demons. Block confusing pictures on the slide of future menus. Looks bright on the new venues. Press it on wax. Watch the saga continue. Lessons, the fact, it's all something we've been through. Growing pains no longer holding pain. That's just something I don't do. Ventilation's a healthy process to a regimen focused with lit views. Don't fall for traps, don't be confused, don't let them get you.
What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. It's hump day. We're going to be talking about a couple different sports today, as we do on Wednesdays. You know, we always do our little basketball, talk about the main slate, get into that, and then we're obviously going to talk about the SuperDraft Pro contest, which is hockey today, and it's only one game.
Woo!
Which is nice, actually, and that's the I always call it the Co-6, but
The Wild Six.
the Wild Six, I think they call it now.
Yes.
But then we got golf for tomorrow. Yeah, and then we got golf for tomorrow, which is the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So excited about that. I mean, tougher course, but I mean, pretty easy to figure out who's going to either make top 10 or top 20, make the cut. I mean, it's a little bit. I mean, looking at the results in the past, really tells you who to play
For the most part.
Mm-hmm. And we do have some younger players that are going to be playing there that haven't played there before too, so that'll be always nice to see just what happens with some of these players. So we'll get into the basketball first. That. Go ahead, bro. What?
We're some old guys that haven't played there in a while either.
Just Sergio hitting out of trees and shit.
He said that's why I ain't coming back now. Yeah, basketball should be pretty interesting tonight. And we just did get news now that Darius Garland is playing tonight. We were just talking about that before the show.
Yep.
So, but first off, we'll get into a little bit of yesterday.
And before that, if anybody missed it, make sure you go check out the Best Bet show that was on earlier. Bet Angles channel, it will be on, so make sure you look at the Bet Angles channel. Otherwise, I can post it later, and you guys can check it out. But obviously, you're going to want to check it out, obviously, before the games start. So I would either do your best to get on that, but you're probably going to miss out because our show is going to run a little bit longer than an hour because we're going to be talking to other sports. So obviously, we'll welcome in our man David as always. What's up, brother? Welcome in. And yeah, we can get to talking some stuff from last night. I mean, fucking shit, man. You won first place in the dollar lineup, took home $100. I like to see that. I like to see my brother making some money. At least someone from the show's making money.
Should put in the $5 too while I was at it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Shit. Yeah, we'll throw some notes up here. But yeah, dude, last night was pretty interesting.
Yeah. So in terms of the studs, we had Zubac who got to 45.5. Very good against the Rockets. Once again, 1.65 multiplier, get to 75.08. We had Gary Trent at 44.5, 1.4 multiplier, get to 62.3. And then we had Scotty Barnes, 41. He got to 1.5. He was 1.5, so he got 61.5. Jason Tatum, 53, 1.11 or 1.15, and he got to just under 61. So I had Zubac, I had Scotty Barnes, I had Jason Tatum. So 3 out of those 4 guys were in the lineup that I had that ended up winning. So that was pretty good. I think everybody that was in that lineup had at least 50 points too. So Malachi Flynn was really good. He's down at the bottom. So it was a pretty good night in that regards. In terms of the duds, we had Jaylen Brown there. Kind of feels dirty putting him there, but he played 3 minutes. Got injured, hurt his ankle. 2.75 points, 1.25 multiplier, and got 3 points pretty much. Pascal Siakam, not the best game for him. Once again, 36 points. 1.15 multiplier, got to 41.4. Then we had Trae Young, 41.5, 1.05 multiplier, got to 43.58. Technically, you could probably throw Luka Doncic on here too as well, since he did not have the best game last night. But I made this list before that game was over, so
that's all right.
We get down to the dart throw, so we had Sengun there. I can't pronounce his first name, so I don't even end up putting it down. But 37.25 points, 1.75 multiplier, got to 65.19 yesterday, so he's really good. Maybe somebody we look at again today. He could end up in that starting lineup without Eric Gordon if they go bigger in their starting lineup. I don't anticipate that, though, but we'll just have to see. Malachi Flynn, pretty easy play yesterday, 34.5 points, 2x multiplier, so you get 69 points. Killian Hayes kind of came out of nowhere off the bench for Detroit, 33.25, 1.8 multiplier, got to 59.85. And then LaMarcus Aldridge, who we did talk about a little bit about on the show, 32.25, 1.75 multiplier, got to 56.44. So not like that crazy high upside day for like any players really yesterday. The highest guy was Zubac. I think if you played Jalen Brunson, he got up there too. Unfortunately, he had a good game, which was not something we expected, especially after the last couple of games. But Luka being down and he kind of took off. So let's see. For today, the guards that we do have in play, we got James Harden. He's a 1X. So it's James Harden. He's obviously played very well since he's joined the 76ers, which isn't a surprise to anyone. If James Harden's happy, he's like one of the top 10 players in the NBA.
Yep.
We got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's all the way up to 1.15 now. He's been playing very well lately, but there is a big risk of a blowout this game against the Denver Nuggets. The Thunder have like nobody left essentially besides Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Darius Bazley, and a bunch of scrubs. So that game could get pretty interesting. If you think that game's going to be a massive blowout, then you probably don't play Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If you think it's going to be relatively close for 80% of the game, or close enough that he plays the 80% of the game, then you can still play him. If you're worried about the blowout, you could always go down to a dart throw like Tail Maladon at like a 2X if you really want to. Vich Krevich is another guy they've been playing a lot, but I don't even think he's on the slate, honestly. Then we got LaMelo Ball. He's at 1.15. Couple down games. They did get blown out the last game. There's a little bit upside there still with him, so you're just chasing some upside probably in a tournament play. If you're playing in, a 50-50 or a 10-player or a 3-player or something like that, you're probably not going to play him.
Cash games.
Yeah, those are cash games. So if you're playing in the tournament or a GPP setting, that's where you're going to play LaMelo more so. CJ McCollum,
SuperDraft, I think they call it what, GTD, right? Guaranteed.
Yeah, well, guaranteed. So GPP is just guaranteed prize pool. So GTD is guaranteed. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then we got CJ McCollum 1.25. One of the safer plays at guard tonight, I would assume. De'Aaron Fox at 1.25. Obviously, we've seen the upside game out of him the last time. Could see a little bit more of that once again tonight. Anthony Simons 1.3. He had a down game last time. They got blown out. Not too worried about it. Playing against the Phoenix Suns tonight without Devin Booker. So that should be a more competitive game that should help out Anthony Simons and his teammate here, Josh Hart, at 1.5. So both those guys are definitely in play. Tyler Hero at 1.5. Obviously, there's still no Kyle Lowry tonight. He's been getting you about 32 points lately. So he's a guy that's in play, not over the top. But if he shoots well, then he could be up there. In terms of the dart throws, we got Campaign 1.75 if he's back tonight and if he's in the starting lineup, essentially. That's all I can say about that. He was dealing with the wrist injury. It is on his right wrist. He does shoot left-handed, so it's not going to affect his shooting hand. Supposedly he was going to be back last Thursday after the All-Star break, was not. So hopefully that's just because of conditioning issues, and they've given them extra time to be conditioned. So if he comes back, maybe he can play 26, 28 minutes. It's what you really need out of him, at least, and then shoot the ball rather well. So probably not anybody I'm playing between him. If he doesn't play and Aaron Holiday ends up starting 1.85, then obviously Aaron Holiday would look all right. Gabe Vincent's in the middle there, 1.8. That's starting lineup for the Heat. Definitely somebody you can look at a high multiplier guy once again tonight. If you get you 30 points, that obviously gets you up to 54. Then we got Garrison Matthews down there at 2x multiplier. He was listed as probable today with a little bit of ankle injury, but should be playing well. He should be playing once again. Eric Gordon's out tonight, so he could be in that starting lineup. Somebody else might end up starting. Josh Christopher actually played pretty well last night, so maybe they give him a start just because he played well last night. Who knows? But I would assume that Garrison Matthews does end up starting tonight. If he ends up starting, if he plays 30 minutes, if he shoots the ball well, he could be in play at a 2x multiplier. Let's see. Oh, so the forwards, we got Giannis. It's Giannis. He's at 1. Don't really need to talk too much there. Domantas Sabonis at 1.15. Last game was a little bit down. Obviously, there was a couple extra turnovers there. Only took 9 shots, but more times than not, Domantas Sabonis on this Kings team is going to pay off. So he should probably be closer to a 1.1 multiplier instead of 1.15. Jimmy Butler, you got 1.15 there too. Shot the ball terrible last game. 5 for 24. Can't say much good about that. It can only get better at least, and has more potential assist opportunities without Kyle Lowry out there on the court. Probably a little bit depressed ownership tonight just because it's not been the best lately. And then for Brandon Ingram there, we got 1.3. Kind of down since CJ McCollum's been there, but a couple good games in a row. Plays the Kings tonight. Kings are not known for their defense, so Brandon Ingram could have a nice little game. We talked a little bit before the show about Miles Bridges. He's also at 1.3. I think if I'm playing any Hornet tonight, it'd probably be Miles Bridges, but that's just kind of where I'm at this point in time. Wendell Carter at 1.4. He's showing big upside games here. They play the Pacers tonight. Goes against Oshai Brissett, Isaiah Jackson, Jalen Smith, Goga Batazzi, guys that he should be at least better than at this point in time. So he could have a decent little night, especially if that game remains competitive, which it probably should. Then we have Mikal Bridges, obviously at 1.65. There's no Devin Booker tonight. Somebody has to score the ball on this team. So it could be Mikal Bridges. It could be Cam Payne if he ends up playing. It could be Cameron Johnson. It could be Jay Crowder making a bunch of threes. Or they could just be them feeding DeAndre Ayton in the post for 30 points tonight, too. That could be it. It'd be really interesting to see how they approach that. And it is a good matchup for DeAndre Ayton against some backup centers, essentially. Guys that should never be starting in the NBA, but that's a whole nother story. In terms of the dart throws and the high multipliers, we got Jay Crowder. I already talked about him at 1.8. Him and Cam Johnson, same bucket there. Cam Johnson looks pretty good if he ends up starting. If he doesn't end up starting, then it's a whole other story. We'll have to look at it, but that's the last game of the night, too. Chetty Osman at 1.8. Chetty Osman at 1.8. You know, he got over 30 points the past 2 games, so definitely somebody to look at there. He's kind of playing that backup point guard role, but Darius Garland is playing tonight. So probably Chetty Osman, not so much, because Brandon Goodwin's probably going to play the backup point guard role. But Chetty Osman still probably gets 22 minutes, but probably not as good as he looked earlier on in the day. Trey Lyles, who was there, started last time for the Kings. If he starts once again at 1.8, you could definitely take a look at him. That game's kind of in the middle of the slate too, so it's not quite at the end, but it's not quite at the beginning either. So if you play him, just have to be aware of that. And you could, if he doesn't end up starting, you can always switch off to one of the forwards for the Phoenix Suns at least. Then we got Povashevsky's at 1.85. If he ends up starting, if he plays big minutes, he should look pretty good. He's a pretty good fantasy point per minute producer when he plays big minutes. The question is just does he start or not? He still played 26 minutes last game after Wiggins got hurt, so it looks pretty good. I mean, you could do a lot worse. You could do better, but you could also do a lot worse. In terms of the centers, we got Joel Embiid at 1. He can also play forward, so that's something to note. Nikola Jokic at 1. Oddly enough, as bad as the Thunder centers are, they've actually been limiting fantasy points for opposing centers the past few games, and that's against some decent centers too. So is it the chicken or the egg, you know? But there's also a chance of the blowout. So Jokic, not quite as high on him tonight as I typically would be, at least. Rudy Gobert at 1.15. Obviously, the Rockets just gave up a crap ton of points to the center position with Zubac. So Rudy Gobert is a lot better center than Zubac is, obviously, because Rudy Gobert is an all-star and an all-defensive team player. So there is more upside there with him. It could be a good little matchup for him. I put him at least in my 5-cent contest because there is some upside there. Bam Adebayo at 1.2. You could obviously also play him at forward. Goes against the Bucks tonight. Could be an okay matchup. Just depends on how much they play Giannis at the 5 and how much they play him at the 4. Could definitely determine a lot of things for Bam Adebayo there. Then then we have DeAndre Ayton at 1.3. Obviously, if the offense runs DeAndre Ayton tonight, he's going to look very good. If they kind of just move the ball around, space it, and try to shoot a whole bunch of threes, might not look so good. But he's the best player for the Suns out there on the court at this point in time, so they should run the offense through him, you would think, at least. Then we have Jared Allen at 1.3. Obviously, got Jared Allen upside, so I can't say too much there. Probably not a guy that you get to a lot tonight, but at least a name to mention. Then for the dart throws and high multipliers, we got Sengun 1.75. Talked about him last night in the multipliers and the dart throws that did end up hitting. If he ends up starting, he might play a couple extra minutes too. If he starts alongside Christian Wood, I don't expect that to happen. But if this game is a blowout or something like that, he could have some upside too. But it's still hard to play him when you got other guys there. You got Embiid, Jokic, Rudy Gobert, DeAndre Ayton on tonight's slate. So it's a little bit harder to get to Sengun because he has to outscore like all those guys pretty much to really be worth it. Then we got Jackson Hayes at 1.8. Yep. He's been in that starting lineup. He's got upside when he doesn't get in foul trouble, but probably not a guy you get to tonight for the same reasons as Sengun. So let me update.
Might as well go over a little bit of injuries if you want to. You talk,
so we got
there's some lines that came in.
Too. So Charlotte's starting lineup, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee. So the same as we've seen before. Plumlee's not playing a lot of minutes at this point in time. So they're just starting him because, honestly. But James Bouknight, Gordon Hayward, and Jalen McDaniels all out. The Cleveland Cavaliers starting Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Laurie Markkanen, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. Karis LeVert, Rajon Rondo both still out. Obviously, Garland's playing. We already talked about that. The Pacers are without Chris Duarte, TJ McConnell, Miles Turner, TJ Warren. The starting lineup for the Magic is Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter, and Mo Bamba. Jonathan Isaac and Mo Wagner are both out as well. Markelle Fultz is playing once again tonight. Then for the New York Knicks, they're starting Alex Burks, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Quentin Grimes, Derrick Rose are both out, and then Nerlens Noel is listed as doubtful. So it's unlikely he plays tonight. So you're gonna have some Mitchell Robinson. Maybe he looks good, but he's also going up against Joel Embiid, and Mitchell Robinson gets in foul trouble. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get 20 plus minutes out of Taj Gibson tonight, just because Robinson gets in foul trouble against Joel Embiid. That would not surprise me at all. Mm-hmm. And if we get Taj Gibson against Joel Embiid, thank you. For the Sacramento Kings, Terrence Davis is out. Rashawn Holmes is questionable. Once again, he's missed the past 2 games. Pelicans, Larry Nance, Zion Williamson, same as we've been talking about for like 2 weeks, it seems like. For the Utah Jazz, Jared Butler is out tonight. And then for the Houston Rockets, Usman Garuba, John Wall, they're both out. They've both been out for forever. Eric Gordon's out, and then Dennis Schroeder's out tonight as well, but Kevin Porter Jr. is back tonight. Garrison Matthews still listed as probable, but expected to play. For the Miami Heat, we got Kyle Lowry, Markieff Morris, Victor Oladipo all out, so no changes there from the last night. Caleb Martin is playing tonight. Doesn't really matter for DFS perspective, though. Then for the Milwaukee Bucks, we got Pat Connaughton, George Hill, and Brook Lopez out. So same thing as we've been looking at for a while now here. Oklahoma City Thunder, Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Ty Jerome, Mike Muscala, Jerome Robinson Earl, Aaron Wiggins, Kenrich Williams out. Pretty much like a whole rotation worth of players. So it's not going to be pretty for them tonight. We'll see who ends up starting in place of Aaron Wiggins tonight, whether it's Povashetsky, whether it's them playing 2 big guys. They could start Derek Favors, Roby, and Baisley all together. That's not the worst thing in the world against Denver, because Denver plays a little bit bigger with Aaron Gordon at that small forward position anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Portland Trailblazers without Eric Bledsoe, Damian Lillard, Didi Lozana, Joseph Nurkic, and Justice Winslow. Last game we did see Keon Johnson get the start, but he didn't do too much in his minutes. Phoenix Suns, obviously, without Devin Booker, Frank Kaminsky, Chris Paul, Dario Saric. Campaign is probable to play tonight. We'll see if he's back or not. So that's kind of the big one for them, honestly. Because somebody's got to play point guard. But that's it.
Someone's got to play. Someone's got to play. Someone's got to play. That's all that matters.
That's what I say about Oklahoma City.
Even if they you're like, some of these players shouldn't even.
Somebody's got to play the game. God, who is it? Was it the Hornets? I think the Hornets just signed Isaiah Thomas.
What was crazy before the beginning of the year, like we were seeing how many players that were coming, like how many players that were getting these like 10-day contracts because they were just trying to, keep the NBA going. And now it's just like, now we're complaining about these players that are actually on teams.
Why is Greg Monroe in the NBA again? Hey, for what it's worth, Lance Stevenson's actually played pretty well.
Yeah. So David, what I'm gonna start doing now, and I might eventually, when we start winning a little bit more again. Obviously, Craig's winning the money. Me, I like to take a little bit more risk, and sometimes, most of the time, don't pay up. But yeah, once we start winning more, I'm gonna start playing some of these higher lineups. But I think that the new way we're gonna do it is I'm just gonna play 3 lineups, and we can talk through another big lineup if you want to. But I'm just gonna do 3 nickels and then $3, and we'll just keep them together. Because last night, like I said, my nickel lineup would have been done pretty well in the dollar lineup, which sucks. I mean, it wouldn't have finished as good as you did, but
that's about how it goes usually.
Can't have that happen anymore. I hate it. It hurts because winning 25 cents compared to winning, $30 is a lot.
Yeah, I feel you. I only entered the quarter contest. I only had time to enter the quarter contest on FanDuel last night, and I got 6 times my money, or 6 times my entry fee. So yeah, and I got 280th like out of 50,000 people in that contest. So
I think it was a couple weeks or probably about over a month ago, like where we played a nickel contest, and I think I won $20. And I think if we would have put that in like a $5 lineup, I would have been like huge money. And we played a $5 lineup, I believe, or maybe it was a $15 lineup that I played, and then like yeah, that's the thing. It's like when you play like these lineups where like you play a $15 lineup, and then you play a nickel lineup, and then your nickel lineup hits, but your $15 lineup doesn't hit, and you're like, fuck. Because if you would have hit that on the $15 lineup, and it's crazy because like less people play those higher, paid contests, and
usually.
And it's crazy.
But sometimes that's
your lineup doesn't even get like first through like 10th. Like if you could have finished like 15th in the 5-cent, well, that 15th would have been a first in the, it's crazy. But yeah, we'll get into setting some big, if you want something really nice, but we'll set something nice for you, David. And the crazy thing is like we talk to these players, and David, and you're intelligent enough to like listen to some of our chat and some of our comments about these players to where you make your own decisions. And that's what's crazy too. Like people shouldn't just take what we put on the paper and then just go with it, because everybody has their own opinions on players. Everyone's going to have their own like heart to play a player, so like Greg and I we have different opinions towards players, and that's how it's always going to be between anybody. But so like taking what we say and then making your lineup, that's like the smartest thing that you can do. That's why we try to make multiple lineups. That's why we talk about multiple players. Like, take what we say with a grain of salt, but at the same time, play with your heart but with our knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Don't play with your heart too much, though. Otherwise, you just get stuck. Like, here's the like you gotta like know when to ride guys and when not to ride guys too. Like, I use an example like DraftKings. DraftKings, like last year, there was like a period where Harrison Barnes was super cheap for a while, and I just rode him for like a week. But like like when the price is good and when it goes to SuperDraft, like we can play. Let's just say Malachi Flynn, because he's done really well the past 2 games when he's at 2x. Let's just say Fred VanVleet's out next game and Malachi Flynn's all the way up to 1.4. Ain't gonna play him now.
No, you're right.
You got no one.
David's like just like Pascal. Yeah, Pascal made me look like a fucking tool. I was like. Yeah, he got me good. He got me.
So Pacers stars Malcolm Brogdon, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Oshai Brissett, and Isaiah Jackson. Nice. No surprises, really.
So I guess we can get. Let's see. We can get in.
Which is
to making.
So Pacers are weird. So when Brissett plays power forward, he does well. When he plays small forward, he does terrible. So when Brogdon plays, he's actually better off. Oddly enough.
And make sure you guys get out and check out Bet Angles, our awesome sponsor partner. Jim's got he built an awesome algorithm, and basically the bets that come out are through a computer. So everything is computer based. Like he built this algorithm, put them into computer, and they're hitting at 50? I think hockey's hitting really well. Hockey's hitting super well. So I would be taking that and betting the hockey right now, because they've been hitting very, very, very well. If you use one of our links down below, you'll see that you can get a week for $4.99. So you're paying, less than $1 a day to use this awesome website that's going to give you all this information. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And then you can get into this community too. If you're on Facebook, that's usually how you can sign up the best way. You can get into this community too, that we have a chat, and I got to get you in there too, Craig. I know you don't like a lot of messages and shit too. That's why I haven't invited you yet. But
I don't look at most
messages, because there's some guys that in there that'll talk about, some of the bets that they're going to make too, so it's kind of nice. You'll hear some other stuff too, because they talk, there's not much college basketball and stuff that are on there yet. So there's stuff like that they're talking about. And there's another bet that we should be making for golf tomorrow. It's at the there's a golf tournament, I think, in in
Puerto Rico,
Africa somewhere.
There's one.
Dubai
There's 3 golf tournaments this weekend.
Yeah.
So there's the Arnold Palmer, there's the Puerto Rico Open, and something else.
Yeah, it's that last one. So there's some guy that you're supposed to bet on. It's like 2,500 to 1 or something like that, and he's won like his last 4 of like the last 4 out of 8 events he's played, he's won. So yeah, that's probably a good bet to make. So yeah, definitely get in there and check it out at least. I mean, if you want to get in there and and check it out, you check the show out. It's on, I think, every day. It's about 4 Eastern, right? 4 Eastern it comes on.
Something like that.
Yeah, Bet Angles. Just go check them out on YouTube. Go make sure you get subscribed because Jim's a good guy, and we're on his show from time to time. Craig was on there today, so
Yep.
yeah, let's get into making some lineups. We got about 20 minutes to set some lineups, and then we'll set some hockey lineups, and then we'll get to golf.
Yes, sir.
Bam. So this is the one that we were kind of talking about before the show that I had.
Okay, so which one's this again?
This is the one with Miles, and I have Ayton at center. I got Embiid and Harden, Fox, Cullum. So this is the one he said was it was all right.
Let me make it bigger. I'm blind.
So
Harden, Fox,
McCollum at guard,
yeah.
and then I went Embiid.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, this one was fine.
Yeah, I think I like this one too. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna save this one, and then because it's already done, and then we'll move on to one for our man here.
So I see David. He got one up here now too. So Alexander, man, Harden, Giannis, Randall, Ingram, Jokic, and don't laugh. Now I'm laughing because you said don't laugh. So I feel like if you play Jokic and you play Shai Gilgeous-Alexander together, and man, that makes sense because that means that game is staying relatively close. So that's a good correlation there. Harden's fine. Giannis is fine. You know, you got a little bit of chance there with Randall and Ingram. I don't mind Ingram tonight with them playing the Kings. Should be a decent matchup there. Randall's just kind of like the guy. It's like, do you trust him enough tonight, or do you play somebody else? That'd be the one.
All right, so I'm going to go to a 5-cent lineup, and I'm going to set this one. Let's see.
Boku.
Come on, computer. Work with me here. Import. And you hated my first lineup because you're like, why would you play Kevin Love? And I'm like, because it's Kevin Love.
Yeah, one good game.
I'm going from history, from like when he came off of a couple of really bad games, and they would have like that one good game. He'd have like 2 or 3 good games after that, like really good games. But I trust your instincts more than mine.
Yeah, he just had like 4 bad games in a row, and then he got hot the last game, it seems like, and then he just kind of stayed in the game. Rashawn Holmes is out tonight for the Kings, which really doesn't matter that much, honestly. I guess it matters if Trey Lyles starts. It just means Trey Lyles has safer minutes.
It's just hard not to play Harden, man.
Yep.
Just the way he looks, he looks comfortable.
And the fact that Burks is guarding him.
Yeah, that's true too.
There's nobody on the Knicks that can guard worth a crap at the guard position either. Yeah, because Barrett's not that great a defender. Like, Barrett's an average defender. Burks is not really a good defender. Fournier is not a good defender. Quickly is undersized. Like, Quentin Grimes is probably their best defender, and he's out. Yeah. Knicks can't guard guards.
See, we talked about this earlier too.
Yeah, I like Simons some.
Yeah, we can throw Simons in here, but so that the Hornets game, Terry. So was it Terry or
Terry or LaMelo, whichever one.
You know?
It depends who Isaac Okoro guards. That's the big thing. But now the fact that Garland's playing now, I really don't like them. And in theory, Okoro should guard LaMelo because LaMelo is taller. So that's a worse matchup for Garland, technically. But that doesn't mean it will happen. Sometimes you can overthink things. I don't know.
He was just a shooter. You want him to get hot, though. You want him to get hot. Shooting
You
those
need him to do
threes.
something besides shoot. That's the problem.
Yeah,
He had
but I
20
mean,
points last game
I
in
want
real
him to
life. He
I
just
want him
doesn't
to
do
get
much.
hot shooting threes. That's the thing.
It don't matter that much.
Like this game right here, man, against the Spurs. Like if he would have actually made his 3-pointers, this would have been a hell of a game for him.
Still at 40 some.
Oh, I know it is. What I'm saying, like if he would have made at
You're
least
too
2 of his
picky.
2 or 3 of his threes, it'd been nice.
Guy doesn't get 60 points. He sucks.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like it would have been a hell of a game for him. Like somebody that that's good at shooting threes. I guess that's more of my point.
Yeah. But I mean, there's that
Fuck
long.
him if you don't score more than 50. How about that?
We don't have the starting lineup for the 76ers. Oh, that game's at 7:30. Never mind. I'm like,
I like McCollum. You're talking about him. Like
he's safe. I mean,
consistent, safe.
we played him in the other one. So, I mean, like, if you want to play like Fox in this one, that makes sense too.
Oh, we
I
got
guess.
Fox. We got yeah. And Fox is somebody I think I'm playing tonight too in hockey.
Fox.
And I guess that's from him hooking it up the last time I played him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I still want to play Embiid. I just feel like can't go away from him.
Yeah, it's hard.
Play him at center if we want to. If there's more guards or if there's more forwards that you like, but
I mean, I think you should probably play the other bridges in this one. Hey, you could play both the bridges together. We're building bridges over here, guys.
yeah, we could do that.
I don't think you have to do that though, but it's a fun idea at least. Sometimes we like to have fun too.
I mean, we got to throw. I mean, Giannis. I mean, fuck.
Probably somebody pretty safe in that spot then. Not Randall.
I know I'm not playing. I'm just looking.
He just ain't done nothing since Barrett's been back. So who they play? They play
you're
Philadelphia.
Right. You are right.
God, who they go put? They gonna put Thibault on Barrett though. Randall's not the worst call tonight. Because if they just put Thibault on it, like if Thibault stymies RJ Barrett, then Randall could be good again with Tobias on him. Like Tobias is okay defender, but nothing great. It's not terrible.
All right, so we went Harden, Simons, Fox, Bridges, Giannis, Embiid.
You got something for? Do you have another one for a super crazy lineup too?
Yeah, so that's what I want to say. We're going to play 2 safer lineups, and I want to play a crazy one. I mean, you know me, like when we've had 1 or 2 crazy lineups like hit in some of the more top plays, that's when it's fun to play. That's when you come back and you're like, oh shit, we made this crazy lineup of like randomness, and it went the fuck off.
So you're gonna play Josh Hart as one of the guards. I got it. We'll play Josh Hart as one of the guards, Gabe Vincent, and then whoever starts at point guard for the Suns. So just put Campaign in for now. I love Campaign too. He's one of my favorite guys in 2K.
Oh shit!
I
I heard the new 2K is terrible. That's what I heard.
I haven't played 2K since 2K18, so
yeah, I think so. Somebody was saying that it's worse than 2K18. That's a lot of years behind, like back, like for them, like how
4 years ago.
Backwards.
You want to put Cam Johnson in this one?
Yes, I do.
We're playing the Cams in this one for the Suns.
What?
I don't know what you
did.
The hell? I don't know what you did.
Yeah, you do.
Why are you a guard? Gotta be a forward, man.
Oh, I know what the problem is. I had a game selected.
Oh, you did that again?
Yeah. What happens when you have slow internet?
Let's see. So we got Cam Johnson. Put Trey Lyles in too while we're at it. I like Trey Lyles too. This is gonna be like a team of guys I like. I like Josh Hart. I don't know enough about Gabe Vincent to like him though.
What's up, Hess? Welcome in, brother. Yeah, we're gonna start as soon as we get done with basketball lineups and stuff. We're gonna get to hockey, so that at least you know your SuperDraft Pro lineup, and then we're also gonna talk golf, so that everyone can get their lineups in for golf tomorrow.
We'll go with some Pokusevski.
Poku,
just because he's fun, and then we'll play Rudy Gobert at center.
I actually got that spelled right.
Pokusevski. He's a weird guy. Probably Rudy Gobert. Gobert. He goes Burr.
So Josh Hart. Let's see.
Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, I'm just looking, dude. I mean, he's been playing pretty well. I like that graph
because he's starting for Lowry. Every time he starts, he's usually good.
Cameron Payne. Then we went Cameron Johnson. So this is the Cam twins, and Trey Lyles, and then Poku, and then Gobert.
Poku stick. It's not a pogo stick. It's a Poku stick.
All right. So let me do this. Edit these. You got any more lineups? Any more lineups come out yet? No.
Nope.
So
we got the 2 early games already, and then there's only one 7:30 Eastern time game, which we already have the next lineup for. So we're just waiting on the 76ers, which is going to be Maxey Harden, Thibault, Harrison, and Embiid. We already know that. Like, we know it's going to be that. The only things like we're waiting on tonight to see is if Trey Lyles starts again, which that's an 8:00 game. Then who starts as the 5th starter for Houston, who starts as the 5th starter for Oklahoma City, and who starts at point guard for the Suns.
Actually, you know what?
There's like 4 things on tonight's slate, essentially.
I'm gonna leave my initial and see what happens with it.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find another. Is there any more 5 cents?
It's terrible.
Good. Good.
I'm going to build my hockey lineup right now while we're talking. I don't know who I'm playing. I wonder if we got the goalie confirmed for the other one. Did we get the goalie confirmed for the other team? Let's see.
I think it was this one. Hopefully. Yeah, is goalie's out yet?
Yeah, well, we knew Hustle was earlier today, and then Igor Shesterkin. Probably not saying that right. But...
All right, so all our basketball lineups are locked in. Lock it up.
Igor is 1X, and Hustle's, I don't remember what he is. Something else. And I only talk from the multi. So Hustle is 2.75, which means we might have to freaking play him in the flex spot. That's what he is. So I guess I'll play him in the flex spot. The pro picks really like him in the captain spot because he's a goalie and he's got a big multiplier. This is let me go find the stats on this game too.
Where's the goalie?
So St. Louis was -110. Their top scorer is Cryo. New York is obviously a slight underdog. Their top scorer is Panarin, and the over-under in the game was 5.5 goals.
5.5.
Yep.
What do you want? Oh, what do you want for a $4 lineup? I mean,
Pretty much the first one we built.
Yeah. I can pull it up quick.
So if we're doing $4 lineup, James Harden, CJ McCollum. Can't remember who the other guard was.
It was this one right here. It was Harden, Fox, McCollum, Embiid, Giannis, Bridges, Ayton, and it's McCall Bridges.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges, right?
Mikael. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mikal.
Something like that. I mean, if you want to swap Ayton out for Jokic or somebody else, you can do it too. Or Sabonis. Like, if you want to put Sabonis in, that's cool too. Heck, I'd even think about putting Anthony Simons in as the third guard if I really want to, but I ain't picky.
So who was the goalie that they like?
Hustle. He's 2.75 in the regular spot. Screw it. I'm playing Thomas. I don't care. Apparently, I got 4 St. Louis guys, so I don't know enough about this hockey stuff. When I looked at them, I'm like, these are the guys I kind of like.
I mean, I'm probably gonna go. I mean, honestly, like these are two teams that I don't really know a ton about.
No. And Hustle's won his last 3 decisions, but he's also giving up like over 2 goals a game.
Fox for sure.
I ain't playing him.
I am.
He's a defender.
Like
What's his multiplier?
What's wrong with this multiplier?
I'll tell you the lineup I'm playing right now. So I'm playing Cryo, or however the heck you say that, in the champion spot because he's 4.15. Then I'm playing Zigbnig, 1.9. Playing Hustle, 2.75. I'm playing Shen at 2.15. And then I'm playing Thomas because he's either going to be awesome or terrible. And he's 2.45.
Who was your champion?
I'm betting him being awesome tonight and not terrible.
Who was your champion?
I like with multipliers.
Who did you say your champion was?
KYROU, however you pronounce that.
Cairo.
Yeah, he's their top point scorer. He's their top point scorer, and he's a 4.15. Seems pretty good to me. Kyrie.
Does he just score goals though?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's had a couple big games against the Wild. Of course, he had a big game against the Wild. The Wild fucking blow.
You're asking too many questions.
You still aren't up to date. It's so dumb. Hockey's a month behind, dude.
Yeah, a lot of the guys are a month behind. Some of them have up to the 11th, but not a lot of them. So,
I mean, like their news is kind of up to date, kind of.
Yeah. That's just because it pulls from somewhere else, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, where did I see it? I think it pulls from.
Probably pulls from like RotoWire or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly where it pulls from.
That's where a lot of places pull from. Let's see.
Like this dude right here is a beast. I like Zibanejad.
Yeah, I got him in 1.9.
Like he's somebody I'd think about playing just at the champion spot, just because he's really good.
Yeah. Well, I just play the other guy there because he's the point scorer and he's the super high multiplier. So,
you know, I mean, if he scores a goal times 4,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
I like that guy though. He's in my flex.
But Husso, like, if we're playing Husso, then I don't want to play that many Rangers. Rangers are the ones that are, they're the ones that are supposed to win.
Yeah. So then you probably just take Huso out, and then you play differently.
I'm
You
probably
just play
what's
like
the 6? You said 6.5.
5.5.
Oh,
So you probably want somebody else on the Rangers that scores goals. He might be one of them.
Strom.
Who's the other guys we got?
Lindgren's another guy I like, but he's a defensive player.
Yeah. Panarin. He's only 1.65 though. But he's like their top scorer guy.
Yeah, I'll play this guy too.
Yeah.
I might just skip, goalies altogether tonight.
So if you do that, then you could play a couple St. Louis guys on the other side if you want.
Mm-hmm. Like Tarasenko is one of their best players, but he's not some good play in fantasy.
Yeah, it's Tarasenko, Cryo. God, who's the other one? This Buchnevich is kind of like a sleeper guy. At least.
Buchnevich?
Yeah. I can't remember what his multiplier was.
1.95.
Yeah. Who's this other guy? I did it pair on he's the defender mainly. Falk's Falk's kind of interesting. He's at 2.65, but he's like a defender too, kind of, I think.
Yeah, see, I don't mind playing defenders. You just have to have a good defender like Burnsy, like Brian Burns.
Well, Falk's pretty good too when I looked at him. Yesterday, at least.
Is it Falk like that?
Like Marshall Falk.
Falk. Oh, okay. Power plays. Like this guy likes assists.
Hey, look, we got another friend. It's Antonio.
What up, Antonio?
He says he likes Strom. Are you a Rangers fan too?
Oh,
I know he's a Knicks fan. This is what David says. David says Hasso, Cryo, Fox, Zigmajid, and Kreider. That could work.
It's Zabinajad or something like that.
I don't know if it's me, David, but that looks a lot like one of the pro pick lineups. Or pretty similar to one, at least. Let me see what the pro picks have again.
It's like Strom's just like one of their top centers.
Yeah. I like Thomas because he's unpredictable. And he's got a 2.45 multiplier. He's either going to do really well or really poorly. At least you know you're going to be way up in the money or way down in the money.
Guy just looks like he just scores goals, I guess.
Who, Thomas?
Assists. Just assists are a lot. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, he's active. So let's see. The first one they have is Husso, Cryo, Zigmajibdid, Fox, and Kreider. I think that's the same lineup that David just gave us. Then we have Cryo, Husso, Zigmajibdid, Jacob Trobo, and Kreider. And then we got Husso, Cryo, Troba, Fox, Falk. Oh, they got one with Falk. So they're playing two defenders there. What's this Trobo guy? Trouba.
You in trouble.
Because I'm pretty sure I didn't have him on my list.
So no news, I guess, in the last time he played, or last time they showed his results. I mean, he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, like,
he's had a couple.
He must not have been looking that great.
He's had a couple big games. I mean, it would be nice if we could have like some more. If the shit was up to date, it would be dope.
Yeah, I just remember.
I don't want to push people to other sites.
Yeah, they have him in 3 lineups, but let me look him up on FanDuel and see what he looks like over there at least.
Trouble.
I looked up everybody. I pretty much looked up everybody that was relevant.
I think
and if he was relevant, I looked at him. NHL. There you go. Tournaments. Utility. Trobo.
Oh shit. Kreider's had some big games too.
Yeah, this Trouble guy doesn't look that great.
What about Kreider? Look him up.
So
Chris
Trouble.
Kreider.
Wait. So listen to this though. This Trouble guy, I guess he's a defender. He's got a couple block shots, but like he hasn't done anything else. Like he plays a lot of minutes, but he doesn't really do anything. Kreider. I think he was on my list at least. Like he's had some big games, but he just hasn't done like as much lately. Like he's a guy you can play, but it just might work out. It might not.
Oh, he's not playing goalie.
Who?
Lindgren.
Oh. Yeah.
Let's look at Falk. Marshall. Like
Justin.
defender. Yeah, his name's Justin. We gotta play him. This guy looks super inconsistent.
But his multiplier's high. That's all that matters. Kind of like in these single game hockey contests, that's really all that matters. Like if the multiplier is high and the guy does something, they pay off. If they don't, if the multiplier is low and they do something, it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Nico Mikola.
Who am I looking at again? Falk.
Yeah, Falk. This Barbashev. This guy's, let's see.
That graph is terrible.
Yeah, it's super bad.
Where's Ronald when you need him to say, oh, it's on the upswing? Yeah, so Falk had an assist, 2 assists, 5 block shots before that, 2 block shots. So he's relatively consistent.
Man, they really like that Kairu.
What?
Kairu?
He just looks good. He just looks good because his multiplier is too high. Like multiplier shouldn't be that high.
That's fine. I'll throw him in there for you.
Yeah. 76ers starting James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. No surprises.
And I'm gonna throw this Bushnovic in there too. Boucher. So no goalies. I'm not starting any goalies tonight.
Either.
Fading goalies.
I'm just fading goalies forever anymore. Unless you make me play a goalie, I ain't playing one.
I mean, it didn't like last week they played both goalies and that worked, but I don't think I'm doing that tonight. Care. No chance in hell. You got it. All right.
Okay. Some golf.
We'll set this lineup. That's what I'm going with. I think I'm just gonna roll with one lineup, I think, today.
That's what I'm doing too.
There should be a thing where you can have all 3 lineups here and you can just set it, you know what I'm saying?
Know what I mean?
Know what I'm saying? And this game starts at what, 6:30, right?
Yep. So like 23 minutes.
Yes, we can talk golf now. Yes.
Yay. I'm excited.
So I might as well pull this up quick and start talking while I fill this stupid shit out.
Golf's easier for me than hockey.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Hockey, it's like, did they have a good multiplier and did they score a goal? Oh, they didn't do that? Too bad.
All right. I got it up. Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So I guess I'll go back to top 10s real quick. So this is last year's, but this is everybody because there's like a bunch of guys that tied for 10th last year too. So Bryson ended up winning. He's obviously not playing this year. Lee Westwood got second with his female caddy, his girlfriend. So he looks pretty good this week. I think he's 1.35. So yeah, he's up there. Corey Connors got third last year. Then we had Andrew Putnam, Richie Wierznicki. I don't even know who that is. This was one of the courses Jordan Spieth did pretty well at last year. And then Bazudenhout. This is he got a top 10 here. He's not getting many top 10, so maybe this is the week to play him. Jason Kokrak, Kokrak's somebody that has good history here. He's not playing the best golf right now.
Yep.
But got good history. Will Zalatoris, this is the first top 10 he has had here. That's your boy. I already know you're going to play him because you love him. So
Willie Z, yep.
Then we have Max Homa, which this is one of the few courses in Florida that Homa played well on last year. Might have just been because he was really hot last year, but he was played really well on the West Coast, and then when he came to the East Coast, he was still playing decently well, and then it really fell off after that. But so maybe you look there, maybe you don't. Matthew Fitzpatrick, he's got great course history here, so as long as he's healthy. So what was it, 2 weeks ago when he scratched out last minute? It's because he was sick. It wasn't because he was hurt.
Really good on long irons too.
Yeah. He's done very well here. Paul Casey got top 10. I think Paul Casey is kind of like a sleeper guy this week because he's kind of that guy everybody forgets about, and then he usually does well, especially at some of these bigger tournaments. Charlie Hoffman, I can't even remember if Charlie Hoffman's playing this year, but he's not been very good this year. He played really good the second half of last year, but it's really fallen off this year. Then we have Rory McIlroy. He's got 5 straight top 10 finishes at this course, so he's about the safest guy in the field, and he's actually playing pretty well as of late. Tommy Fleetwood was another guy that got 10th. He's got like 3 top 10s in the past 5 years here. And then Keegan Bradley's actually a random guy that actually plays pretty well here too. So there's a lot of guys that play pretty well here actually. Back to 2010. What?
I love me some Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, and then back to 2010, we got 2010. We had Tyrell Hatton. He ended up winning. He's got decent course history here too. Mark Leishman got second. He also had a win here. I think that is the year before it cuts off on my list at least. Sanjay got third. Then we have Bryson DeChambeau once again, who's obviously not playing. Keith Mitchell's another guy that's got really good course history here. Joel Dahman. I don't even think he's playing there this year. Danny Lee, Rory McIlroy, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Colin Morikawa. I can't remember if Morikawa is playing this week or not. He might be.
I don't think so. I did not see his name.
Then we got Harris English, who I believe is not playing either. And then Su Hung Kung. He's actually got it. Like a lot of these tournaments that we've looked back at, he's got top 10 finishes, but he ain't really playing no more. Or he's playing overseas now. Francesco Molinari was first in 2019. Then Matthew Fitzpatrick, Sanjay M, Tommy Fleetwood up against there again. Cabrera Bello, I don't even know who that is. He's not playing though.
Yeah, he's an older guy, I think. Oh no, he's not.
And then we had Keith Mitchell up there once again. Sung Hoon Khan, who's Matt Wallace, I think, is playing this week. He's kind of a sleeper, like a long shot. Probably looks better in like DraftKings though than he does on SuperDraft. Rory McIlroy, obviously, once again, Adam Long. Byung Hyung An is another guy that's pretty much not playing anymore. Lucas Glover, random finish up there. Kokrak once again, then Luke List. So Luke List is another guy that pops up a couple times here too. So there's a couple guys that have good top 10 finishes. Then we will go back 2018. That's year Rory won. Bryson was second. Justin Rose was third, but I just don't like playing Justin Rose.
Nope.
Hendrik Stenson, he's got a little bit of course history here too. He won like 7 years ago too. So Tiger Woods was fifth that year. Don't play Tiger Woods. He ain't playing. My legs. Then let's see. We had Ryan Moore. I don't think he's playing. Kevin Chappell's not playing. Mark Leishman. We got Mark Leishman once again. He's 3 out of the past 5 years. He's been up. Okay, so it's second. So he got second, and then he got like 8th that year, and then 2017 is the year he won. Luke List is there. Sean O'Hare, I think, is playing this year, but he doesn't play in a lot of events anymore. And then Patrick Rogers, who's Patrick Rogers is like this guy that every once in a while he comes out of the woodworks and does pretty well. And then Patrick Reed's way at the bottom. Don't play Patrick Reed.
Cheater. Patrick Reed's a cheater.
And he's not playing worth a crap right now either. Except last week when I bet him to shoot 1 over, he shot even. So back to the guys that are in play, or the guys that are at least in my list for play. John Rahm, he's at 1. Not a lot of course history here, but obviously the top ranked golfer in the world, about as consistent as it does come. Rory McIlroy at 1.05, he's been top 10 5 straight years. Paul Casey 1.1. Decent course history here. He's kind of the guy you can't write off. Billy Horschel 1.1. He's been playing very well. Not the best course history here, but It's Billy Horschel. He's playing pretty well. Tyrell Hatton, 1.1, very good course history. Not playing a lot of events lately, not playing like the best in the world. Same thing with Kokrak. They're not playing the best right now, but has good course history. Sanjay, 1.1, he's got decent course history. He missed the cut last week, but before that, he's only had one missed cut in like last 16 events. So it's pretty safe as he comes. He's he's not a very good putter. He's typically a better putter on Bermuda, but the greens last week were dry, which means they were faster. So that hurts a guy like him who's not that good at putting to start with. Then obviously we got Will Zalatoris, he played well, at least on the West Coast. Hasn't really played in a couple weeks now, but he had a top 10 finish here last year. I know it's a guy that you're going to end up playing. Then we got Tommy Fleetwood, 1.15. He's got the good course history, 3 top 10 finishes in the past 5 years. So that's definitely something to look at. Russell Henley, 1.15. He's been playing well. Not like crazy course history here or anything else like that, but he's just a guy that's been playing very well as of late. Probably looks like a little bit better play on DraftKings, where his price is a little bit more affordable in terms of looking compared to price to multipliers. Matthew Fitzpatrick, 1.5 or 1.15. Playing well, and he's got really good course history. Can't say too much there. Mark Leishman's been playing very consistent, 1.15, and he's got the good course history too. Keith Mitchell, he's actually playing pretty well. He's one of the top drivers right now, and he's got the good course history too. So you got a lot of guys here that have good course history. Chris Kirk, he's playing well.
He's gonna be super chalky.
Chris Kirk?
Gonna be chalky. I think Mitchell's gonna be super chalky.
I don't think Chris Kirk's gonna be that chalky this week.
Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell will be probably super chalky. I think that,
I don't think so. Like,
let's see, Paul or Rory will probably be.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like Rory. If I had to guess, it'd probably be like Rory, Fitzpatrick, maybe Fleetwood.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be Rory.
Maybe, and John Rahm should be up there because he's John Rahm too. But I don't think Keith Mitchell is, because like he's just like a name people just don't like to play. It seems like
it must be just DraftKings. It must be his price on DraftKings that people really like. He must be in the 7,000s.
He's like the low 8s on DraftKings, but there's a lot of guys right in that price point that look pretty good this week on DraftKings at least. Then we were at Luke List, 1.2. He's been playing decent. He's got good course history here. We got Christian Bazutahoot, who's at 1.2. He's playing very well. He's got okay course history. He had the top 10 finish last year. Lanto Griffin, if you want like a safe guy that's going to make the cut, Lanto Griffin's your guy. 1.25. He's been playing well. You know, he doesn't have top 10 finishes here or anything else like that. But if you want a guy that's going to make the cut for sure, pretty much, Lanto Griffin's your guy. Cam Young, 1.25. He's playing well. He's never played here before. But, you know, he's one of the
he's a rookie this year, right?
I think he's like his second year technically. But in terms of guys that are hitting the ball well off the tee, he's way at the top at this point in time. So somebody relatively safe, should do pretty well on this course. And then obviously Lee Westwood last, 1.35. Decent course history. He's got second place. He got second place last year. Doesn't play a lot of events, but he did play last week. He did make the cut last week. So at least he's got that going for him. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm probably going to play one lineup here today.
Other guys too, right?
What was that?
You had a couple other guys too that you liked.
Kind of. So just some people that I heard were going to be good, like Thigala. Like you said, you wouldn't play him, but I mean, listening to a couple of different places, like even like you know, I said even the Golf Network, you know, Golf Channel, they're talking about Thigala could be a decent play here. Just his multiplier is a 1.4, which is just kind of nice. It's super risky just because of, you know, he hasn't played here.
My thing with him is I'm not sure he makes the cut, because even that event that we saw him do very well at, he was missing fairways left and right, and you just can't do that at like this course. He was able to make up for it and kind of save his butt when they were playing at the Waste Management, but the Waste Management, the worst thing you can do at the Waste Management is hit the ball in sand trap. You can hit the ball in the water and everything here too. So rough's a little bit more difficult here too, from what it sounds like.
Hideki Mitsuyama could be somebody who does really well here. I guess he's been playing really damn well. He has two wins in his, like, was it last 7 or 8 plays that he's had? I mean, in the big events. I mean, now he's got that going for him, and apparently he plays. I mean, not that it's really relevant, I don't think at all, but he plays on a course that's close to here as like a home course where he does practice at. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can use that to whatever advantage you want, but I don't think that really helps at all. He's just somebody that does. I mean, he's a really good golfer. Hideki's super good, and another guy I think I really like that you could play is Victor Hovland. Is somebody that you could play. He's done. I mean, he's a really consistent golfer. I mean, this is a course that he could do really well at. I like Kokrak, somebody that I like.
The hardest thing with Kokrak is he just has to make his putts. If he doesn't putt well, like he's done for. Like that was the biggest thing with him last year. Towards the end of the year, he was putting better, and that's where all his success came from. But like he's not putted quite as well this year. There was, God, what event was it this year? Like he was up there for a little while, and then he just couldn't putt again. So some people like Sammy Burns this year or this week. I don't really like him at 1.05. He's a guy that chokes all the time too. Like you said with Hideki though, he's at 1.05.
Yeah.
He's a pretty safe guy to make the cut, but I feel like if I'm just looking for a safe guy to make the cut, I go up to like Fitzpatrick that has more upside, or like even like Lando Griffin that's got a little bit higher multiplier at the very least.
Hideki's just safe. Like if you want to get golfers through, if you're worried about that, Hideki has made 7 of 7. You know, he's made 7 times he's made it through the cut, but he's averaged at like 32 or something like that, 32 or 36. Like it's pretty shitty. You ain't gonna get. I mean, but at least your player made it through the cut, and you're getting points for that player instead of missing the cut. Which, I mean, that was what hurt me last week. I thought getting 4 players through at least with having some of the top golfers going through, that I would have made some money. But no, apparently a lot more people made it through. So I think somewhat playing it safe might be a smart idea on SuperDraft. It feels like that's what people are doing, is getting at least some safe golfers in there. But you know, you and I like to. I mean, it's not this lineup's not risky at all. I mean, but sometimes, you know, playing some of them top golfers, you know, they like to go for it and a lot of shit. And that's Tommy Fleetwood last week. He missed the cut because on 17 he wanted to go for it, and he ended up hitting. I think he hit it in the water, and he ended up missing in the cut. And the 18's like one of the easiest holes. Like he could have played it very safe and just made the cut. But nope, he wanted to go for it. He wanted to, you know, be a superhero, and guess what happened? You know, he missed the cut. So I mean, that's
so David said, didn't Kirk choke last Sunday? Well, pretty much everybody last Sunday did very terrible. He shot 3 over, but there was a lot of guys that shot 3 over last week, and the weather got worse as the day went on too. The last guys that were actually playing, they had to play through like a rainstorm on the last hole too. Burger choked bad. But Burger, that's what Burger does. He always has one really bad round.
And here's another thing to think of. I heard another stat today. Yeah, it sucks though having it on the last day. And here's a cool stat that I actually heard, and you guys can, if you want, I mean, use it to your advantage. So players that play at the beginning of the day have a better 55% more chance of winning than players that play at the end of the day. Just because of the greens. I guess that the greens are harder as the day goes along, you know, because people are walking on it more. So the greens get stiffer and they get faster. So, I mean, it is what it is, and you can take it with how you want it. But I mean, 55% more chance is pretty. I mean, I like that. So, like looking at some of these players, and when we were talking earlier, that's what my deciding factor was to go and change some players, was looking at where they start. And first day doesn't really mean, it's not that much, but sometimes getting a little bit ahead, it does matter, you know, like in case you have that day where you choke the next day or the day after, you know, it's nice to be ahead instead of, you know, starting behind. So whenever, you know, you hear me, I complain when I have guys that are at +2 on day 1 or +3 on day 1. I'm like, well, fuck, you know, they're already starting at a huge disadvantage. But it is what it is. Yeah. Take it as you want. I mean, that's something I like to look at too, is you just go and the times are already set. So you can kind of see what time people start. And then you can kind of see the grouping too. So like groupings kind of make me nervous too. Like if I see somebody with a shit group, like guys that I think that won't do well, that can really affect your golfer in that group.
Or like sometimes,
yeah, this is my lineup. This is the lineup I'm going to be playing, and I might get crazy and play another lineup later tonight. I'm not sure yet. I might play in like a $5 or something if they have anything available, but Yeah, this is kind of what I'm going with. Like, I'm going back to Sung J M. Like, course history, like last week was just kind of like he just had a bad day, and that happens, and it's out of the way, right? He's gonna come back.
He
He's probably
putted,
gonna have
he
a hell
couldn't.
of a game.
The greens were dry and they were faster, and he's not a
Mhm.
good putter. And he had
Nope,
2 double
right.
bogeys. That's essentially what happened to him.
You know, I like Zalatoris. I mean, he's one of my favorite golfers. He almost won. You know, he almost won the hell is it called, the Masters. Like he was
Yeah.
one off from winning the Masters, and that's that's the Hideki won that one. And didn't they have like a playoff? Right? They had a playoff.
No, he lost on the last hole, I think.
Oh, okay. And yeah, so I mean, I like Willie Z, and if anybody knows, like, if anybody's seen Happy Gilmore, that's not in real life, but Zalatoris is who Happy thinks that, or Adam Sandler, when he almost won the Masters, Adam Sandler shot out a text, and it was just a picture of him with his caddy from Happy Gilmore, and he's like, "I'm super happy for my caddy," because Zalatoris looks just like that guy from the movie, which is super funny. So Happy's caddy, he's gonna win it this week. Just something. I mean, that's just my call, but he's one of my favorite players. Fitzpatrick is just. I mean, I didn't have him on my original lineup. I mean, he's somebody that I definitely want to play. It was just more fading what the public's probably gonna do, but his long irons. That's something that's needed on this course. So people are really good with their long iron. That's something I'm looking for sure. And another thing that Fitzpatrick actually has an advantage over a lot of players is if some shit, like if let's say the weather picks up or anything like that, or the course gets a little bit harder, Fitzpatrick is somebody that like takes advantage of that, and he plays better when things are harder. So that's another thing that I like about Fitz. So if the weather were to change a little bit, I think he's somebody that can overcome that, and that's something that I really like to play. Cam Young is something. So I was listening a little bit earlier. Cam Young is something that a bet that they took earlier is like top 20 is like a solid bet, but he's somebody that could win. Like he's been playing super good lately, and he was one of the top 4 times. They say like first timers to win. Like he was in that grouping of like first timers that could easily win this event. It was Cam. What did I say? I think it was Cam, Fleetwood, Fitzpatrick, and then Zalatoris. So I threw them all in there. So I love Tommy Fleetwood. He's one of my favorite golfers. He's got that porn name, got that long hair. This guy's he's really good when he's on. Man, he's really on. And another thing I think I heard about this course too is people that aren't from the States. So Europeans, anybody from a different country or different area or region, tend to play really good at this course too. So if you look at my lineup here, there's a lot of foreigners from this course. But Rory, course history is amazing here, so I had to play him. Obviously I was fading him too because of the probably he's going to be probably the most owned in this game.
Him and Rom probably,
and Rom too.
Rom will always be over 50% no matter what on SuperDraft. Like unless he just goes on a long streak where he doesn't make cuts, like he's always gonna be over 50%.
I like this lineup. The lineup I had before, it was a little bit more risky. I had Thigala in there. I had who else did I have that you hated? Sergio, but I had Sergio in there.
Yeah,
he did well in what was it, 2012, right? He did well. 2013.
He got 33rd in 2012, and that's the last real time he's played here. He obviously played in 2013, hit the ball up in the tree, and then he knocked his ball out of there. But then he withdrew right after that, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
he had climbed a damn tree. What golfer do you see out there climbing tree and spikes, like and hitting their golf ball out of a tree? That's insane.
It's just been 9 years, so if you want to, like, you really want to take that, like, and Sergio, it's not like Sergio is that good anymore either.
No, you're right. It was more of a risk.
He doesn't play very often anymore either. So there's just like so you got one risk that he hasn't played here in a while. Second risk, he doesn't play as often anymore, and third risk, he's not as good as he used to be. So
I liked Van Ruin too. He was another guy I was kind of looking at. He hasn't done great here, but
so I'm just gonna go through too. Like, so if you want like kind of long shot guys like that, not a lot of people are probably going to be playing. You could look at, let's see, you can look at Stenson. He's at 1.4. He's a guy that's won here before, but it's been like 7 or 8 years since he won here. He made a couple top 10s. Obviously, we talked about Thigala. It's just he's risky with his driving. Nick Taylor, 1.35. This course is pretty similar to last week. Nick Taylor had 2 good rounds last week and 2 not so good rounds. So a little inconsistent there, but if he makes the cut, maybe there's some upside there. Patrick Rogers at 1.35. That's a guy that's top 10 here before, but he just kind of shows up out of the blue every once in a while and does well. So it's really hard to predict when that's going to be. Let's see where we're at too. I'm just going up because there's a lot of guys here. You could look at Denny. If you want to look at Denny McCarty too, you could do that. He made the cut last week. He's at 1.3. This obviously, I think this is Bermuda grass too for putting. So he's obviously the best putter on tour for that. So that's definitely something to look at least.
Oh shit! Yeah, I heard Adam Scott's a really good play this week too.
If he putts well. Oh, Jason Day's not playing now.
No, he's not.
He bombed here last year, but he's won here before too. I love playing Jason Day. You just gotta get him when he's playing well though. Let's see. Then who else do we got here? So that Matt Wallace 1.25. He's had top 10 here before, but he's somebody that looks better on like DraftKings or something because his price tag is just cheap there. Like 1.25. Like if he's like 1.35, 1.4, then you look at him. But it's just like there's so many other guys there. Patton Kazire is another guy there too. If he's a pretty good putter. If the rest of his game does all right, he's a guy that could make like a top 10, top 15 finish at 1.25. But there's just so many other guys right around there. Bazuden, we already talked about at 1.2. Keegan Bradley's like the guy, like the random guy, but he's at 1.2. It's just like you wish that multiplier was a little bit higher.
All right. You should shout out your lineup too. So then at least David can decide here because he's going to play at $20. He's got that free $20 ticket. And I said to play on golf because your better chances in that because golf, I mean, it's usually like 200 people and like your chances are way
I'm still just going through this just a little bit more and then I'll get there. So Corey Connors is another guy, 1.15. He's kind of risky. Like these are just kind of risky guys.
I'm not
Matt Wolf, 1.15.
I'm not playing him either.
Yeah,
I like Matt Wolf, and I followed him when he was here at the 3M Open, and he ended up winning. He's good, but he's just been off lately.
Yeah. So the Tyrell Hatton's another one there too at 1.1. Like, there's a lot of guys that could do well here, but like a lot of things have to go right. I think a lot of people are actually going to play Scotty Scheffler too. I don't think it's a good play by any means.
There was somebody else I was looking at. You talked about Leishman already. I mean, Seamus Power is just somebody who's. I mean, he's missed the cut here twice, right? You said, but
no, he's missed the cut at his last 2 events.
Oh yeah, but before that, he was playing so damn well, like super damn well.
Then he fell off, and then he didn't and then he missed 2 cuts, and then he hasn't played for like 2 weeks now too. So
I'm fading Gooch, another guy that I liked for a while. I mean, just
yeah. So hold on, I'm just gotta put mine back in real quick. So the lineup that I have right now is Rory McIlroy, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Mark Leishman, Lee Westwood, Chris Kirk, and Keith Mitchell. So a lot of guys that have a lot of success here.
I mean, that's probably the smartest way to play today or play this event is just look at course history and then kind of look back at how people have played in the past, couple weeks. So at least you can compare that. But like Rory's been playing overseas, so that's another thing.
He's been playing in Europe a lot.
So and he's been playing well. So that's another thing. Like that's something that you won't see unless you dig. Another player that you could think of is that Aaron Rai, or Ray, however you say his name, just because he's starting the first group. He's been doing okay lately. I mean, he's starting in the first group and he's been doing not too shabby.
Yeah, I mean, he's popular though. I like him more if everybody else didn't love him. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like so many people out there playing DFS just love playing him all the time. So it's just like,
This is Multiplier. I mean, or in here it's multipliers. 1.25 isn't terrible. I mean, it's not terrible. It was higher than that before.
There's just a lot of people right around that area too. So I'd rather play the guys that.
Yeah, I agree. I think before though he was at 1.4, wasn't he, or like 1.45? He just dropped. He also had a couple of good games where he just fucking dropped.
Yeah, so I think
you could look at Gim too, like Doug Gim. I mean, he's 1.45.
Make a cut though.
Yeah. But you're talking about risk, if you want risk, like Smalley's another guy you can take risk too. I mean, he's not somebody I kind of like.
I'm going down there. I'm just playing. Like if I'm going if I'm going down there at 1.4 and looking at those guys, I probably just play Stenson because he's at least got top 10 finishes here. He's got a win here before. Granted, it's been 6 or 7 years, but
Henrik Stenson. Yep.
at least this is a guy that I know has like a chance of winning.
Here's Douglas Gim.
Yeah, I love Gim too, but
Gim Reaper.
he's better in West Coast.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately, he kind of goes to the East Coast and he just falls off the map. But there's a lot of guys like that. There's a lot of guys that are from the East Coast and they go to West Coast and they can't play worth the crap either. Zalatoris was that way for the longest time.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing though too is with Zalatoris the last. I mean, he's had a couple. He had like COVID for a little bit, and then he just didn't play in a couple of events. But in events he played, he's been doing well.
Last couple of years on the West Coast, he hasn't been very good. This year, he played a couple of events better though, at least.
He's young,
relatively. Yeah.
I mean, when you caddy for one of the best golfers in the world, longest drivers in the world.
If we were David, we're playing this $20 ticket. Probably it's like the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put in like Rory McIlroy.
Yep.
You're probably gonna play
Fitz.
Yeah, him and Fitzpatrick probably your first two. Then you get kind of into the group where they're like, there's a Sungjae M, there's Tommy Fleetwood, there's Mark Leishman. You can pick like 2 out of those 3. You can pick. I mean, it's hard not to play.
And you could play Rahm if you want to play Rahm. You could play Rahm too. I mean, if you want to get cocky with it,
yeah,
play someone crazy.
Keith Mitchell just looks really good this week.
Yeah, I play Mitchell.
If you want to play somebody like if you want to play safe, I feel like the safe guys, like you could play Hideki, but like you could just play Bazoodan or Orlando Griffin and get a higher multiplier there. So I feel like those are both better safe plays.
I'd play Bazoodan I think over Hideki. I think I like that call.
Yeah, I play him or Griffin, or heck, you could play both because they're guys that are gonna make the cut at least. Luke List is like a name. Like if I was just like randomly betting somebody to win, or like probably not win, like top 5, top 10, Luke List would be somebody I might bet on just because like he's been playing well. He won a couple events ago.
You don't think like at that? I don't know. I think
there's a lot of really
Scott at the same multiplier.
There's a lot of good guys that are 1.2, but Luke List is playing better than Scott right now.
I like that. Van Ruin's the one with that huge caterpillar mustache.
Yeah. And he hasn't done much since Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good plays from 1.15 to 1.25. A lot of good plays. It's how it seems like it is every week too, though. But this week it's really good. So
I was in the Matrix.
What?
I said I was caught in the Matrix. That's what we say whenever like your internet goes out. You're just like you're stuck in the Matrix. So David, what do you think? You think that lineup? You think you can get a lineup set with the information that you were provided, my good sir? I think we gave you some pretty good information. I mean,
essentially, you start out with Rory and you start off with Fitzpatrick, and then you pick 4 of Rahm. Probably like Rahm, Kokrak, Sungjae, Fleetwood.
I liked him last week and he failed, but I mean, before that, he was fucking killing it. Just putting Sungjae.
Oh, he's fine. He has one bad event every once in a while, but like I said, the greens were so dry last week, and he can't putt anyways. So it's like he's not that good at reading the greens, and then like he misreads the green, and then then he like hits it too hard, and it just goes flying. So
zing.
Yeah, but I think so we go John Rahm, Sungjae, Kokrak, Will Zalatoris, Tommy Fleetwood, we already got it. So Rory and Fitzpatrick are the 2. Then you got Leishman, Keith Mitchell, Chris Kirk, Luke List, Bazoodan, Lanto Griffin, Lee Westwood, like 4 out of that group, pretty much.
And here's the thing, like, so here's why I'm playing Fitz. Like, he's in the, let's see, third group, or he's in the fucking second group out.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that, let's see, like Cam Young's in that same, or he's in the next group out. Like Westwood's in that group. Mitchell's right after that. Like I'm saying, like some of these guys, like these are the guys I want to play that get out there first. Luke List is kind of out there. I mean, let's see, Zalatoris is a little early. For like your guys that are late, I mean, Tommy Fleetwood's playing a little late, so it makes me. I mean, I don't like really like his group.
I'm not super worried about it, honestly. Like
Hate that group.
they might have a worse day one slightly, but most of these guys that have played here before and are pretty consistent, I'm not worried.
I agree.
About.
Rahm's playing really late. Oof.
That's what happens when you're the number one golfer in the world.
Oh shit! Him and Garcia playing together.
Yeah. I mean, Sergio's gonna bitch.
Yeah, probably.
He's really good at that.
In the last group, though. Damn.
Yeah. I wonder why they put Sergio in that group.
It's Burns. Let's see. They gotta split these groups up. It's two. How do they do it? They must go out. One goes off the 10, and one goes off the 1.
Yeah. So no, the last group is like Bazoodenhout.
Yeah, Bazoodenhout, Smalley.
Yeah.
And some guys we don't even know.
Kokrak's pretty late. God,
Yeah.
I wish Hendrik Norlander could play well again. This is not a good course for him, though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is. I mean, I'm actually excited. I mean, besides, it's the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Yeah.
It's just, it's classic. It sucks that Arnold's not around anymore. He's passed away, sadly. But and then the event's not going to be as great. But it's just one of those classic events, you know.
I wonder, because Leishman and Tyrell Hatton started at the same time. If they play together, that'd be a fun group.
And the Players is next week, right?
I think so.
Yes, big event. Love it. Next week's gonna be fun.
Ooh,
Next week's gonna be a lot of fun.
wait. Is Paul Casey and Matt Jones playing together? That'd be fun too. Matt Jones got hurt last week, though. Why is he playing this week? He shouldn't be playing this week. He's that guy that just plays every week, no matter what, though. So. I love him, but
yeah, I'm gonna probably play like a big $20 ticket next week. Yeah. The Players is that's fun to play.
Yeah,
it's pretty hard though.
That'll be the week Streelman actually does something again.
Mm-hmm.
Plays terrible the first half of the year, and then just all of a sudden like rocks out one event.
So I think we got everything covered for tonight. Tomorrow night, obviously, we'll be back talking basketball again. I think it's the same time tomorrow, right? Let's see.
Yeah, I won't be here.
Oh yeah, dude, that's right. Maybe we won't be here live. And actually, you know what? You know what you should do? So if anybody's going to be down at the Combine, they should be looking for my man Craig here, because and you should be wearing your stuff. Wear your
I got my sweatshirt.
Craig stuff. Yeah. So make sure you're looking out for Craig if you're down at the Combine. And I want you to get some film, dude. Try to see if you can get any like coverage at all. At least take some notes and stuff like that. We can talk about it. We can do a show.
I got my notebook with me. So.
That'd be dope. Yeah. So yeah, anybody that's gonna be down at the Combine. So yeah, we might be just hiatus for a couple days.
We'll see what we can do.
We'll just be posting some stuff. Be on the lookout. So make sure you're following me. Make sure you're following Craig for sure, because he's going to have a lot of updates. Obviously, I would assume that you'd be having some updates from the Combine, talking about just some guys that you like, some people that you're looking at. But yeah, make sure you're following Craig. We'll see. What was that, brother?
I said a lot of it would probably be afterwards, but we'll see.
No, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Regardless, it's good information, and it's going to be relevant to what we're talking about. So there's going to be some other things coming up in the works. We got some stuff in the works called the Film Room. We're going to be doing some awesome stuff on some players and obviously some rookies and stuff like that. So we got some cool things we've been talking about too, where the film is going to be a little different than most people have. So yeah, cool things in the works. So be on the lookout. Yeah, I'm stoked for you, man. I really wish I could be going with you. I was just talking with my girl. I was like, man, if we were taking a vacation, we'd just go do that.
Yeah. Well, it's like for me, it's like it's the last year. It's probably the last year that's going to be in Indianapolis, which was relatively close, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Got a few minutes to squeeze me in for a few minutes tonight. Oh,
We want to talk about
NASCAR.
Andrew. That's Andrew.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about, Andrew? Tell me what you want to talk about. Come tell me what you talk about, and I'll send you the link. But I think we're ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
We've already been on for what? An hour, 40 minutes?
Yep. And I
Hour,
got
30
another
minutes.
podcast at 8 o'clock. All the podcasts today.
Talking about recap for what, NASCAR? You know, we can do that in a couple days before the event starts. What we should do, Andrew, is what we'll do. We'll have you on the night before, and then we'll have you on the day of. So then we can do a recap of the previous event, and then we'll talk about what's coming up the next day. Yeah, we will. We'll Andrew, we'll have you on. Like I said, it'll be Saturday. Saturday night, we'll have you on, and we can do a recap of last week, and then I'll let you just talk, brother, because you're a NASCAR guru. So I'll let you preview the Vegas, and then we'll recap from last week too. So we'll be in talks a little bit before that, so then I can get you up to speed, and we can actually get the show together. And eventually, dude, we can get a show going for you, man. So. Yeah, we'll be in talks, brother. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you, coming in and talking. So thanks again. And thanks to Ronald for hooking it up.
Yep.
So let's get out of here, man. I'm stoked for you for tomorrow. You're gonna be there for a couple of days, or just tomorrow?
Yeah, it's I'll be there tomorrow. I don't even remember what day tomorrow is. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll be at the combine. I might go Sunday, but Sunday starts later, and like the early ones, just like. DBs don't do anything till like 2 o'clock though, so I might not go to that part. So,
what's like the event that you really want to go and watch? Like bench press, or are you like? Is that something you like watching, or you really want to go?
Can't see the bench press. So the bench press is kind of like offsite, yeah. Like so, you have to like have backstage pass thing type of
access,
thing. Yeah. So I'm just going like as a regular person essentially, but. I mean, you'll see the 40 time, you see the 3 cone, you'll see the wide receivers run routes, the quarterbacks throw, stuff like that. So,
I like that.
I'm just excited to see how people test, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm excited for some quarterback action, just because.
I don't know how. I don't know how many of them will actually throw at the combine, though. That's the thing. Most quarterbacks don't throw at the combine because they're throwing to random wide receivers.
We're going to be surprised that. That's true. Who is your quarterback as of right now? Who would be your quarterback one in this class?
Still Sam Howell. The upside.
Yeah, I like him.
I mean, right now I'm at Sam Howell, Carson Strong. Then I think Matt Corral. After that, Kenny Pickett, then Malik Willis. That's mine. The Ritter, obviously, 6th, but.
And a lot of people are going to be going wild about Malik. You know, we talk about this all the time. You know, the film, fantasy, but most people don't watch all the film. We'll see, though. Yeah. We'll see.
And it's because he's exciting. And it
depends on his landing spot. And yeah, it's the film. But people don't watch all the film. They watch the highlights. And the highlights are going to say a lot. I mean, highlights look awesome because all he's doing is running. But if you were to watch the games, man, and I was somebody that, like, if you're in Devy, sometimes when you're in Devy leagues and stuff, you're going to watch these games. You're going to watch like a lot of these games. And, you know, Liberty is not a school that people are like, damn, Liberty's a great school. No, there's nobody else coming out of that school that's going to be, at least receivers and shit, that are going to be doing anything, you know. That line was absolutely they're also playing trash.
But at the same time, they're playing against schools that are equally as bad.
Running all the time. Yeah, but I mean, they were playing against, you know, like Matt Corral and shit, and they were getting whooped up on. Matt Corral got injured in that game, and he still came out.
Yeah. So they play one game against the real.
Malik Willis. I'm a huge Malik Willis like fan and shit, but it's got to translate to the NFL. And I think the best landing spot for him, if you want my opinion, is the Falcons. I think if he went to the Falcons and he sat a year behind Matt Ryan, I think it would be a good play.
Hopefully, he doesn't learn too many of the bad things from
my
Matt
opinion.
Ryan.
And I want Howell to land in Carolina.
I want Howell to land in Denver.
What was that?
Denver.
I mean, that would be dope too, but I'd rather see Rodgers there, or I would actually that or fucking shit, what's his name from fucking Texans?
Watson. Watson ain't getting traded before the NFL draft.
The booty guy. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, his next court date's April 1st. So then we know if he has criminal charges against him. Then we still have more stuff going on after that. So it's unlikely he gets traded before the draft. It could happen, but like it'd have to be like the Panthers or the Redskins getting kind of desperate to do it. I don't see Denver doing it in that case. Yep. If it happens before the draft, at least.
The Commanders.
Yeah. I said the R word.
Worst name. God, they should have started. They should have just started with. They should have stayed with the football team.
Groundhogs. Okay, let's get out of here.
They would be seeing their shadows, bro. But Jim says have fun at the combine.
Yep. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we can get out of here, man. I mean, you need to get some good rest so you can get out there and be my eyes, because obviously I'm jealous.
So I can wake up at 4 a.m.
I'm jealous. That's all right, dude. I'd be waking up at 3. I don't give a shit. I'm like, dude, I'm going to the combine.
Okay, but
people hate on the combine. I like it.
It's cool to say you win.
Yeah, we can get out of here. What's up?
If nothing else, it's cool to say you win. Like you experienced something.
Yeah. I think it's different than from on TV. If you go live, then you can actually feel the environment. You can feel like who around you actually likes players, who doesn't really like players. You can see it more on people's faces and feel it in their their vibe, like how they're. Yeah, that's what I want. That's better than it's like watching sports on TV versus going to like an event. Like hockey on TV, it's awesome as shit, but like going to a hockey game is fucking crazy because the environment is nuts. Like when someone scores a goal, you don't feel that on TV, but when you're there, holy shit, that arena is so electrifying. It's crazy. It's just a different experience. But anyways, I'll stop jabbering. Let's get out of here. Tell them where to find you at.
So you can find me on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport. You can find me on YouTube at Coach Craig Sports. You can find me patreon.com/Coach Craig Sports. You can find me on the Stacks app at Coach Craig Sports. You can find me at 8 o'clock Central Time on P2W Fantasy Channel on YouTube. I'm going to be a guest over there on his stream podcast, whatever you want to call it, tonight as well. We'll be talking some fantasy football, a little bit of dynasty and all that stuff. I haven't talked too much football in a while.
Yeah, we're going to start doing that too. We're going to get more into football and stuff like that too.
4 sports in one day.
Anyways, you can find me everywhere. Yeah. Sports. Go team.
Yeah, I'm talking 4 different sports in one day.
Anyways, you can find me at Twitter. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at JC Money Design. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. If you need to find me anywhere else, I'm sure you can just search JC Money Design. You'll find me there. I know you can. If anybody wants to add me on Sleeper, that's cool. I'm cool with that. We are going to start getting some league. We had plans to do a basketball league, but it fell through, or it didn't work out. But we're going to start getting some leagues together. We're going to see if we can start with one and see if we can get it filled. And then, for football. So we want to get some crazy shit going. I'd like to do something for Devy. So we're going to talk about Devy leagues as well. That's going to be something that we're going to be getting into. But we'll get out of here. We probably won't be back for a couple days. I might make some videos here and there, but or maybe I'll just come on here and we'll just set some lineups together and stuff like that. So maybe it'll just be a lineup show. Things aren't the same if it's not me and my brother here. It just vibes a little better. But anyways, we'll get out of here. Appreciate everyone being here. Anything you got to say? Good luck at the combine tomorrow. Have a blast. That's all I can say. I'm jealous.
I'm gonna run a 4.6 tomorrow.
Can you actually go run? Do they let you? Can they let people go and run?
I'm not Rich Eisen.
I mean, not on the field, but yeah, I know. What's Rich Eisen gonna run?
5'8". I don't know.
Him in that sweet sports coat. All right, let's get out of here. Peace out, everybody.
Pushing forward, coast to coast, state to state, city to city, flirting dilly like the late great Biggie. Baby.
Life ain't sweet if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams.